Is yoga okay for pregnancy? Hi, I'm Karen, the founder of PregActive, and I'm here to answer your questions when it comes to pregnancy. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe to our PregActive YouTube channel, and drop me a comment or question below. I always love hearing from you. So the question here is yoga good for pregnancy? And in general, the answer is yes. But there is so many different types of yoga, and there is so many different asanas or poses or sequences that potentially are not necessarily beneficial for you in your pregnancy. And it depends on where you're at in your pregnancy. It depends on where you're at in your history of doing yoga and your fitness level and so many other things. So let's drop all the myths, let's debunk, and let's get into what are some really good yoga poses, what's a good sequence, and why is prenatal yoga just so much better for you than necessarily doing a regular routine? Now, when it comes to yoga, there is not just the physical aspect. There is that complete mental release. It's a space where you can basically focus on your body and your breath and stay in tune and not worry about everything else. So if you're in a class and you are doing your regular routine and then all of a sudden something feels a bit weird or a bit odd, or you don't feel so great and you're looking around, the instructor may not be pregnancy qualified. If you're in your early pregnancy, they might not even know that you're pregnant, and it can all not feel so great. Your mind starts wandering. Is this safe? What am I doing? This doesn't feel so good, but maybe I'll push through anyway. What's happening for me? What's happening for baby? And what you want throughout your entire pregnancy journey is you want to feel safe. You want to be able to get into your exercise and move in a way that feels good and in a way that you know is good for you and safe for baby. And it's not only feeling good in that moment, but it's preparing you. It's preparing you for later in your pregnancy. It's preparing you and your body for childbirth. And it's preparing you to help with a quicker, easier, better recovery postpartum. So harder is not better, stronger is not necessarily more effective when it comes to pregnancy yoga. Different poses are different for everybody, but anything that is really a full big back bend, opening may not necessarily be great for your already stretched abdominals. Now, diastasis recti in pregnancy is very common. If you carry to full term, it is pretty much almost guaranteed that you'll have some degree of abdominal separation in your pregnancy, and then it's about recovering that postpartum. Now, when we talk about those big stretches, your body is already stretching so much. The skin is stretching, the muscles are stretching, and then if we're adding a massive big back bend on top of that, we're just potentially, not necessarily, but potentially adding to that increase in stretch. And that might be a limit for us, and that diastasis recti might, go a little bit further than maybe what it potentially would have if we didn't put in so many of those big back bends. There are a lot of exercises that focus a lot on core strength and holding. Now, if you can regulate your intra-abdominal pressure when you're pregnant in these poses, and you can work with your breath and you can activate through your pelvic floor and everything is working well, great, perfect, no problem. If it is a strain for you to be in these poses and you end up putting pressure and not regulating through that intra-abdominal pressure, then that can be pressure that goes downwards onto your pelvic floor, outwards onto your abdominals and diastasis recti, abdominal separation, or back onto your back and lower back pain, discomfort. None of these things we want. As your baby grows, there's much less space for everything else in your body, including the space for the movement of your lungs and your diaphragm to move. And that is such an important part of your entire core unit. So if we can't breathe easily anyway, and then we add in really challenging exercises and our breath or our ability to breathe as well goes, then you're doing yourself a disfavor. There is no benefit in pushing to the point where you can't breathe as well, because one of the things that yoga is so good at is helping you to breathe better. So breathing, stretching, enjoying, and letting your body move in a way that feels good and getting in tune with what that is so important. Which is why when I teach pregnancy yoga, it's so beautiful because you don't have to modify. There might be a few bits and pieces here and there if you've got pelvic girdle pain that we need to modify for, or bits and pieces, but on the general, you are just flowing through this beautiful flow. You're connecting with your baby, and it's a beautiful space for you to be in, even if pregnancy yoga is not something that you thought would be on your radar before you got pregnant. Give it a go. I've got some links dropped below, some workouts and pregnancy yoga that you might be interested in, that are there for you as a resource for you. And of course, please ask me anything. Any questions, drop them below. Know that I am here for you in this entire journey. And we have more just like this over at PregActive.com. And download our free PregActive app. Simply search PregActive in Google Play or your Apple Store, and it's there for you.